When I say the word cold calling, what does that do to your psyche? What's the first word that comes to mind when I say the word cold calling? Do you shiver in fear? Is it the scariest word I ever said? Do you have shivers going down your spine? Or is it something that's like, oh yeah, that makes me money? Like what do you think when you hear the word cold calling? For most beginners, when it comes to any type of business, let's just call real estate the thing, they think of cold calling and they think of it as the scariest, most crazy thing ever that only people that watch Wolf of Wall Street do. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, right? And it really honestly freaks you out. I completely get it. As somebody that's taught hundreds of thousands of people to get their first $50, $60, $100,000 in wholesaling real estate, the one that has hundreds of thousands of people in my free wholesaling course, I've taught a lot of people how to cold call. And a lot of people always come up to me and they'll say, Zach, how do you make cold calling so easy? Or what's the secret to it? And all these things. And honestly, the fear of cold calling, I do look at it as not a disease, right? But like, it's kind of a little thing, not terrible. But honestly, there is a small little cure to getting over the fear of cold calling. And, there's a couple things I can always do to anyone. There's no magic cure crazy to it, but like in under an hour, which I'm going to do today with you, I'm just going to give you basically the blueprint to getting over your fear of cold calling. And honestly, without even doing any cold calls at all. Like that's kind of the cool part about it. Now, obviously, the more calls you do, always better, right? But I just feel like so many wholesalers, they have this thing in their head that says, oh, I'm scared of cold call. I'm never going to cold call. And I honestly didn't ever want to make this video today. I'm just being completely honest. It's in freewholesaling.com. Like I just tell everyone to cold call more, but like I'm getting so many new wholesalers coming in and they all come up to me like, Zach, how do I get rich in a week? Or how do I get my first deal in a week? I'm like, cold call. And then they come back to me and they're like, Zach, I cold called and I haven't gotten successful. I'm like, how many calls do you make? And they're like, I made 6. And I'm like, what? Why are you making more than 6? Well, I don't think I sounded good, so I didn't want to do any more. And I'm like, come on. Like, this is stupid. Guys, if you want to eliminate your fear of cold calling, this is going to be the video for you. This is going to be everything you need to know to become a successful wholesaler when it comes to cold calling. Cold calling is going to be the best, fastest way to get your first wholesaling deal. You can gain your skills talking to sellers. You can get extremely confident. And the most important part, if you are ever the person that is mentally in your head like, oh, my competition, I can't beat them. If you get really good at cold calling, you'll be better than 90% of your competition out here because you're doing what they're not willing to do. There's a reason why every single person watching this video is not completely shredded with 6-pack abs and all these things, because you probably weren't willing to do the work that the people that do it are. And that's the honest truth. And that's not a bad thing. It's not going to like give you a better quality of life having 6-pack abs. But for wholesaling, if you get really good at cold calling, your quality of life financially is going to be a lot better. And so what I'm going to do right now, step by step, cure your fear of cold calling. This isn't going to be like an intervention, like you need to be a man and go out here and cold call, rah. I'm just going to tell you practical stuff that actually works. The thing that actually gets people in the chair to start calling more. Okay? Just no fluff, no excuses, none of that stuff. The first thing we have to understand is we just have to stop being scared to cold call. The one thing about cold calling is the word cold call has such a bad connotation. It has such a bad thought with most people. If I change the word to cold calling to, phone tagging or conversation starting, people, they're not as scared of it. It's kind of a weird part, but it's all in your head. And I'm not saying you have some mental disease or you're mentally screwed up, but I'm saying is you have mentally put a connotation with something, right? And so they've shown studies if they tell people that are severely scared of getting like a flu shot or like any type of, shot, like just the pain of it. If you just distract them, that's what they do to babies, and they distract them, give them the flu shot. Like, it's like, oh, that wasn't bad, because it's the fear that it's going to happen that is way worse. It's the fear of it. So much dang worse. If you guys ever watched the show, How I Met Your Mother, this is a great one. I love that show. They had a thing where basically Barney he got in trouble or something, and he's going to get slapped by somebody else, by Marshall. And basically the slap wasn't the scary part. It was knowing at any moment he can slap you. And the psychological torture of somebody just raising their hand and just scratching their head and be like, oh, he's going to slap. Oh, it's the psychological torture every day knowing it's going to come. That's the scary part, right? It's like, somebody's going to go punch you, but you never know when the clown's going to punch you. He's going to punch you, but whenever he decides he wants to punch you, right? And it's the scary part thinking about it every single day and being consumed by it. And that's the problem with cold calling. A lot of people think about it, they can consume it about the fear of actually doing it, but once they do it, it's not that bad. You guys are overthinking it. I promise you guys. And most importantly, you're overcomplicating it. If I just switch the name cold calling to outreach calls to sellers, it's actually like, think about it. You get less nervous. And I just want you to do that little exercise for a second. Think about it. Change the name to cold calling to calling cold, or like just change it to a word. You can call it outreaching out to sellers, or, having a conversation with someone that might want to sell their property, or asking people questions. Literally change cold calling to asking people questions. And you're like, asking people questions? I'm not scared to do that. Like, the fear goes down like by 30%. And that's just step one in eliminating the fear of cold calling. Second is you're just overthinking and overcomplicating it. Why did I say asking questions? Did I just come up? I did not come up with that. That is something that I've told people a lot, because when you're cold calling, a lot of people overcomplicate it. They think they have to be Wolf of Wall Street. They do the call and they do the hard sell right there. You're not the type of guy or gal out here that will go out here and close sellers off the bat. You just ask questions. Seriously. Like, hey, are you the owner of the property and are you looking to sell it? You get some information, then you get off the phone. You don't close somebody. Nobody makes offers. Zillow for sale by owners, yes, you can do that there because they're already sort of warmish. And that's what I do when I do lives, because it's a lot faster pace. I get more offers out there and it's more negotiating. But that's not what the majority of cold calling with government lists are. And I've done these calls. That's not what it is. You are overcomplicating this process. It's not sexy, right? Someone says, I want to sell the property, get some information. You say, hey, let me talk to my partner. What's a good time for me to give you a call back? That's it. Pretty simple. And so when you're calling, you're just asking questions. You're not selling anything. And I think that's the big fear I think a lot of people have. And it's a misconception. So it comes from, a big part is the unknown. What is the person going to say? Are they going to say something mean? Are they going to say something about my mom? Are they going to say I'm a poopy head? Or are they going to say this? Or are they going to say something scary? Come on. I'm telling you guys, you got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Somebody is going to go out here and say something mean to you. That is an uncomfortable truth in cold calling. How you deal with that is the biggest change I think you can have. And so one example you have to have in life is, if anyone watching this ever grew up in the public school system, let's say you go to a regular middle school. Okay. I think middle schools are way worse than high schools, like with bullies and people being mean because we're all like tweens. And the average middle school, there's 2,000 people in it. Do you think out of 2,000 like tween teenagers, do you think one of them are going to be really mean? 1 out of 2,000, be honest with me. Of course, one of them is going to be really mean, and they're going to say something mean about you because they feel bad about that. That's how bullies are, right? They feel something insecure about themselves and they take it out on you. That's usually how it happens. So you got to understand that, like 1 out of 2,000 cold calls, someone's going to say something mean to you. It's going to be that high school bully, that middle school bully. What's the worst that you're overcomplicating this and you're overthinking this. So let's go back to the overthinking part. When somebody calls you and they say something mean to you, number one, can they get you arrested? No, because what you're doing is completely legal. Okay. Can they get you fines or cost you a bunch of money? No, because you're calling TCPA compliant, like Zach Ginn teaches you. So that's all legal and there's no fear of this. What can they do? Here, they can only do one thing. And just being honest, they can do one of two things. They can either say they want to sell their property and, hey, you actually make money. That's good. Or they can lie to you. That's it. They either want to sell the property or they can lie to you. That's pretty much it. I mean, they could say no, I guess, by that saying they can say the truth or lie to you. They say the truth, they want to sell or they don't want to sell. So they say the truth, they want to sell the property, or they're going to lie to you. And what's the lie? Number one, you're a-hole. You're a this word. You're a that word. You're a meanie poo. You're a poo-poo head. I'm saying nice words. You use the imagination, but they're going to say you're this. And here's the truth about anything anyone's ever said about me. As somebody that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, 1 out of them is going to say something mean about me. And some of them are pretty good jokes. I'll just be completely honest with you. There's some really good ones out here, I'm not going to break down some of those funny jokes, but there's some good ones, internet jabs at me that they're pretty good. But one thing you got to understand is, as long as somebody says something to you, and if you believe what they say is true, then it automatically is a truth in what you think about. But if somebody says that I'm a broke wholesaling guru, I just laugh at that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Compared to the other broke wholesaling gurus, I literally just came back from the bank from another deal. I was like, I know in my heart that I ain't a broke wholesaling guru. I make a very good amount of money every single month off my passive income. I don't really care at this point, right? And I know because it's a bully, they're reflecting their insecurities of being broke back at me. Why do you think gurus always make shots at me? Because they're broke, insecure, and they're sad, they're losing sales because I teach wholesaling for free, and they bring it out to me and they try to diss me and stuff, right? That's how it works, okay? And so what you have to understand is if somebody says something mean to you, no, it's a lie. That's it. One really cool thing I always do, and this is always a litmus test of when somebody says something mean to me, I always say back, and you guys, you can use this form for yourself because you're overthinking this if someone says something mean to you. John, you're a stupid, ugly person. You're a poopy head and you're a terrible person and I hope you rot everywhere. All I'm going to say is my mom thinks I'm cool. My mom thinks I'm cool. That's all you got to say back to that person. First of all, when you say that to somebody, when they say something mean to you, if you come back and say, my mom thinks I'm cool, what are they going to say against that? Obviously, it's pretty common your mom thinks you're a cool person because everyone's mom loves them, hopefully. Maybe some people on this, they don't, but like, what do you say to that? No, your mom's wrong. No, my mom's right. My mom's pretty cool. My mom knows me better than you. So who am I going to believe? Nobody can ever do anything against that argument. Every single hate comment I ever get, I always reply back, my mom thinks I'm cool. What do you think someone does when they say I'm stupid? I just say, my mom thinks I'm smart. What are you going to say about that? Come on. That's the best internet argument I've always had, and I always do it. So whenever somebody says that to you, just say, my mom thinks I'm cool. And honestly, do you believe your mom thinks you're cool? Yeah, I think my mom thinks I'm pretty cool. And so there's nothing nobody can say to me that's going to make me feel bad because my mom thinks I'm cool. And so just remember that. If someone says something mean to you, just say that back. They're going to be like, what? What do you mean? And I say something dumb, you say something dumb, it's fine. So guys, let's eliminate someone says something mean to me just off the bat. Okay. That's where a lot of people have that. And I just showed you how to eliminate that part. So let's get into the other issues we have because sometimes it doesn't help everyone. So first, we have to identify the issue of why we have a fear of cold calling. Number one, there's a fear of failure. I think a lot of wholesalers, they won't cold call because they have this fear of failure, the fear that they're going to call and not do well. It will happen. Let's just be straight up. If you have a fear that you're going to fail, it's going to happen. All right. I don't know one wholesaler that became rich and successful that everything was smooth sailing. Every call became a deal. It's not like that, or they haven't made enough money. You think I love Kobe Bryant. Did Kobe Bryant make every single basketball shot he's ever made? Did he win every single game he's ever played? No. Did that stop him from being one of the greatest basketball players of all time? No. He knows he's going to lose some games. But the point is you win more games than you lose. That's the point. If you do that enough, you're going to win championships, right? Duh, right? You don't have to sweep everybody in the finals to become successful, right? That's the point. It will happen. You will fail. But it's how you deal with those failures and having more wins than losses that ultimately will lead to your success. Number two, this is a big fear of not knowing what to say. I think a lot of wholesalers have this when it comes to cold calling. I think it's a really stupid problem to have because you're watching this YouTube channel. You guys see me. I literally give you my free scripts. I give you my objections. I give you literally something you can download and read off of word for word on how to cold call. It's all in my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. That's it. Freewholesaling.com is a free wholesaling course. Literally, I do live cold calls in there. I literally have videos of me closing sellers live, not just FSBOs, other type of calls, other type of closings. Everything you want to know about cold calling is all in freewholesaling.com. I had to buy because YouTube didn't like me doing privacy. I violated their privacy policy with showing people's faces with live cold calls and stuff. I literally had to buy my own servers inside of freewholesaling.com. It cost me tens of thousands of dollars every single month to host, have editors, do the whole thing for it, to literally give you wholesaling content for free. Now, of course, I do a lot of JV deals, and that's great from it, but you don't have to send me any deals. You just do it for free. It's fine. I don't really care, okay? Freewholesaling.com, okay? That's where it's all at. So your knowledge issue in wholesaling, no. Everyone says I got to buy a $7,000 cold calling course. No, you don't need any of that. Guys, you go to freewholesaling.com, you see the top page, you scroll down, you see all those checks. Those are all people that learn for free. They have the free scripts and objections. That's it. Why should I can't even convince you it's my script. Why should you use my script? It's simple and it's the best one out there because it's simple. If I can train a VA from the Philippines who 6 months ago didn't know anything about talking to sellers to being one of my top producers, getting deals every single month, just from my script, my skip tracing and my calls, I put them on a dialer, I tell them what to say, and it produces deals. You can do way better. A lot of my VAs from the Philippines, South America, they can go out here and get me wholesaling deals. I literally start them a week later, they can find deals. Why? Because they just focus on my simple script. There's no deviation. There's no crazy questions to ask. Somebody who has English as a second, third, or fourth language can get wholesaling deals like this because the script is so simple. You can roughly know English a little bit, but as long as you know how that works, you're fine, right? Like I could literally, if I translated my script to Spanish and let's say, everyone speaks Spanish instantly, let's do a thing. I could figure it out, right? I know enough Spanish, sí or no, right? So I learned how to say the script in Spanish. Of course, I have an accent. And do I get a sí or do I get a no? And that's how the script works. If I get a sí, I say the line and then boom, I can bring it to the CRM. That's how it works. The script is so foolproof of not knowing what to do and that fear of, there's no excuse why you can't become a successful wholesaler from it. That's it. Number 3, this is another big fear I see a lot of people have, but this is the fear of not sounding good, the fear of not sounding confident, the fear of all these things, right? Oh, Zach, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. I feel like if I talk, I'm not going to sound good enough or I'm going to sound perfect. You're not going to sound perfect. You might not sound good. You ain't going to sound perfect, but it's worth doing it, guys. Nobody who ever did anything was instantly amazing the first time. No chess master was the best chess person in the world. No tennis player was automatically the greatest tennis player in the world starting out. None of those things, okay? They had to start from the maybe objectively bottomish and work their way up. That is literally it. They just had to work their way up. That's all you do in wholesaling. You just go from here. You ring up the ladder every single day. That's it. If y'all ever played, I played this game as a kid, Chutes and Ladders. I love Chutes and Ladders. I haven't played Chutes and Ladders in 12 years. But Chutes and Ladders is you just climb up the ladder. Sometimes you roll the dice, you get down the chute, and it's kind of sad, but you just climb your way up and eventually you win. You're never going to constantly keep going. You're going to get some bumps in the road, but eventually you're going to keep going up. And that's the point here. You're not going to sound good automatically off the bat. You're not, guys, if you've ever played basketball, your shot is never going to be perfect. I don't know one person that's trained in basketball that was worse at playing basketball 5 years after than when they first started, right? There's people that are, they're in their prime at 30 and they get worse at 40, but you start from zero, you get there, right? I promise anybody watching this, if you ever start weightlifting, you've never touched a weight in your life, if you went to the gym for an hour and you do Arnold Schwarzenegger's routine and you eat enough protein, I promise you after a year of lifting weights and all you did is, let's say, bench press, I promise you your bench press will be a lot better. You'll lift more weights after a year than just by not doing it at all because your muscles are going to get bigger. Your wholesaling muscles are on your mind. The power of cold calling and the skills you have with cold calling, it's not a muscle. It's not like a tangible muscle you can see. They're honestly neurons in the brain that you train yourself to get better at every single day. So it's not me being muscular that makes me a good cold caller. It's the skills I have in my mind, the brain power that can go out here and do everything, right? And all you have to do is sound more confident, sound more perfect to be good at cold calling is by just doing it more. That's it. You practice and become better. Alvin Iverson, practice. We talking about practice. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You don't have to practice every single day, but you just have to do it better and better and better. I truly believe so many wholesalers, they want to be at this level, but they're not willing to do the work. I promise you that there is somebody out right now that is 16, 17, 18 years old that probably has a kid that is broke. They have a kid, they got to feed the kid. Are they willing to do more cold calling than you? Probably, because they need to feed the kid. They need to put a roof over their head. They're sick of living in their mama's basement. They're willing to do more to get out of their situation than you are. I promise you, there's wholesalers in my market that they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I have no one specific example. I don't like saying this example because it's really mean. And I think people look down on me for saying it, but it's just an honest truth. So I do have to say it. There was this one wholesaler in my local market. My first year in wholesaling, he made all of his money. I would say 50% of his money from bandit signs. Okay. I think he made around $240K, if I could guess, in assignment fees. This was like a 40-year-old man. Okay. He had 2 daughters and a wife. Okay. And he lived like 10 minutes away from me. He used to put up bandit signs in my local market. He started taking my bandit signs out Like I put my bandit signs out, like this is after I got my first deal. He started sticking my bandit signs out. Like he literally put them out, threw them away and put his bandit signs in replace with it. Cause he made 120 grand a year from bandit signs and the other 120 from like, I don't know, direct mail or something stupid. What could I have done there? Should I just sat down and said, okay, I'm going to give up and I'm going to keep working my bag boy job? I don't know if I've ever said this story on this channel. I flipped with Rick, like when I first started the channel, I used to say the story. I did a bandit sign war. I decided to get up at 5 a.m., take his signs out, put my signs back in. And I kept doing it every single day until he decided to quit. And when he decided to quit, guess what? I got all the bandit sign deals and that helped me get 100K my first year. And he had to sell his house and his income went really bad and he decided to switch careers. And do I feel bad for a guy that had 2 kids and a wife and he decided to lose half his income because I was willing to work harder than him? Do I feel any remorse for that? No, I'm completely honest with you. Okay. I wanted it more. I wanted to get rid of my bag boy job more than that guy wanted to double his income with his wife and kids. And I objectively think about this for a second. What sounds more like of a reason to work harder? Is it the wife and kids or is it the bag boy job? Realistically, having kids should do it. But that guy already made 120K from direct mail. And so he wasn't a hungry line. I was starving working. I did not want to scrub dookie off toilets the rest of my life. So I decided to work harder than the guy. And to this day, that guy hates me to a passion. Fun story. I saw the guy at the gym, I think like a year ago, and that guy hates me so much. That's all I don't want to get into any drama. That guy, I don't go to that gym anymore. But like that guy does not like me at all. Okay. I just want to be completely honest with you. And I'm gonna shut it up because I know the guy's probably watching me. He's trying to find my secrets. But eventually I graduated where I do JV. Most of my deals are JV deals with you guys because it's that I'm trying to get 1,000 deals this year and I don't have to work on that. And yeah, maybe he's putting bandit signs out anymore. Yeah, I don't really see him, but I've done a couple of bandit sign wars in my way. But like the moral of that story is who wanted it more. It's not of who had the better reason. It's who wanted it more and who was willing to get up at 5 a.m. every single day to take the guy's bandit signs out. I was. Okay. I did some I don't even want to talk about half the things I did. He didn't know who I was, but I knew who he was. And so I always say this, okay, this doesn't make sense, but code enforcement did find the guy's name and address. And let's just say he got a lot of fines and that's why he stopped bandit signs. That was another reason why. At 17, 18, not my proudest moments, but it made me an extra probably 60 grand that year. And it got me out of wholesale. It got me out of bag boy job. So like, I'm not scared of it, but like, it's the things you're willing to do to get back to that point. And he knew that was all for me. That's why he quit it because he knew this kid wasn't going to stop. So that being said, what are you willing to do? I'm not saying don't do what I did, but I'm saying I was willing to do whatever it took to become a successful wholesaler. I want you to know, like that was my mindset. It was all or nothing. And I was willing to do anything. And so are you willing to put in the work and do it? That's it, right? And so confidence. How do you gain confidence as a beginner? Confidence, in my personal opinion, and I think everyone's can say is confidence is a belief in what you say. It's a belief in the words you say. And it's really, truly believing in what you say is truth or not truth. For example, if I go out here and talk to a motivated seller, I talk to that motivated seller that my name is Zach, I'm looking to buy your property for cash, me and my partner. Do you really believe the words you just said? If you do not believe the words you say, you're going to say ums, you're going to say buts, you're not going to sound confident at all while doing it. Whoa. Oh, I think the video played. All right. That was funny. All right. We had some auto plays on there. All right. But the truth is it's the belief in what you say. That's what it is. So if I didn't believe what I said, I'm going to have a lot of ums and buts in that conversation. What does that mean? Hey, my name is Zach, and I'm looking to buy your house for cash, me and my partner, versus, hey, my name is Zach, I'm looking to buy your property for cash, me and my partner. Are you looking to sell your house? What's the little cues? When I don't believe in what I'm saying, first verbal cues, I'm not looking at you straight in the eye. I'm not sounding more direct, right? Like I'm looking at you straight. When I look up, it looks like I'm finding an excuse from saying something. If you ever talk to sellers in person, you'll see that. A lot of it's hidden psychology, but it's just how confident you are. And so how do you do it? The more experience you have, the more you're going to believe yourself. But if you truly believe you're in a partner who has cash, if you do reverse wholesaling, you have cash buyer right there ready to go, you should be fine, right? Confidence is a very important part. Confidence is something I can teach you, but honestly, you're just going to have to believe in what you say. Most people have to have experience to feel confident. You don't really need that. Got my first deal with no experience. I think everyone that got the first deal didn't really have experience with it. You just got to go after it, right? One important part is you just got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. I don't know what I have to say to you to make you stop feeling sorry for yourself, but you got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. I would say not a big portion, but there's a portion of people watching this. They utterly feel sorry for themselves and their situation. Not that it's a bad situation they're in, but they cannot get over the fact that they're in this situation. And maybe life gave you a tough hand. I promise you, I think I got pretty lucky being born the family I am, being born in the situation I have, having my health and family. A lot of people aren't in that situation. I completely understand that. But if you're going to let whatever situation you got dealt be the thing that's going to handicap you in your success, knowing that there's somebody right now who was born in a worse situation than you, probably has a lot worse issues going on in their life right now, that actually became successful, that's it, guys. You can't, if you compare your situation with mine, you're going to say, my situation's worse. I suck. I suck. I can never become successful like Zach because I wasn't born in a situation. For every person that does that, I can point to you to a wholesaler I have taught and that was born in a worse situation, born with a situation where they're a single mom of 3 or 4 that was literally in poverty, that got out of wholesaling and became successful. You can compare yourself to me and feel sorry for yourself, but if you do that, come up to me and I'll compare you to another wholesaler that I got out of the trenches in wholesaling to become successful. That's it. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. There's always somebody worse than you that actually got out of the situation they're in. That I promise everybody out here. I literally teach wholesalers who are making $5,000 a year in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, look it up. $5,000 a year was their salary, and they made $50,000 on a probate deal. Are you telling me that you're living a worse life than that person? Probably not. They used the power of the internet on a smartphone to get a deal. Then they got the title company to give them like this e-wire thing. It was crazy. $50,000, Trinidad and Tobago. So what are you feeling sorry for yourself because you're living in the greatest country ever with free internet basically at every library? Come on. I don't want to hear it from you. All right. Go out here and do what you have to do for your kids, your financial future, and everything becomes successful. In wholesaling real estate, there are 5 uncomfortable truths when it comes to cold calling. There's 5 uncomfortable truths you have to overcome to become a successful wholesaler. Write these truths down and say to yourself, is this a truth that is stopping me from starting cold calling? Right now, you should understand what they are and get them over. So what's the first uncomfortable truth? You will fail. Have you understand and have you accepted the fact that you will fail? Someone's going to say something mean to me. People are going to curse me out. People are going to say no. And that's okay because it'll lead to a deal eventually, but I will be failing at some aspect of something. Heck, even today, I failed at wholesaling, right? Our team makes offers, didn't get a deal. And we got other deals, obviously, but I wasn't 100% batting on all the offers we made today in our company, and we never are because I make a lot of offers and I do a lot of deals. But in some aspect, of course, I'm going to quote fail. But that failure is going to be turned into a follow-up, and maybe 20% of those end up being deals, but they're $30,000, $40,000 deals, not bad. But you will fail. Get over it. You will not get a deal instantly. Number 2, can you accept the fact that you are not going to get a deal in the next day or 2? Is that something that is a reality to you? A lot of wholesalers, they'll cold call a day, not get a deal, they'll quit. I know it sounds unrealistic, but it's true. You'll not get a deal instantly. You have to accept that. Number 3, this is probably the worst uncomfortable truth for a lot of wholesalers, but you will not have to work hard. Oh, that's the truth. They think I do not have to work hard and I'll become successful. No, you will have to work hard. Understand that. Think about that. Believe that. I will have to work hard to become successful. I know it sounds silly for a lot of people out here, but that's the truth. Every single type of business, entrepreneurship you do to become rich and successful, they all pretty much have to work hard. That is it. I hate to tell you, even, we can use Mark Zuckerberg as an example. He came up with an idea. Some people say he stole an idea, but he still had to work hard to create the company. There's more than one thing with it, right? And you could say whatever you want about it, but I'm just saying, you're going to have to work hard. If you're willing to do it, you'll do well. Number 4, it's kind of a repeat, but you understand that again. People will be mean and rude. Does your mom think you're cool? Does your dad think you're cool? Does your dog think you're cool? Think about that. Heck, some people, maybe their mom doesn't like them. Think about it. Does your dog think you're cool? My dog thinks I'm pretty dang awesome. I'll tell you that. All right. My dog thinks it's pretty cool when I walk in the door every morning, no matter what, or in the evening. This guy is a cool dude. That's what my dog says. So think about that. Does your dog think you're cool? Okay. So I don't really care what this guy has to say because my dog knows me pretty well. And he thinks I'm a cool guy. And that's all that matters. Okay. Do not get caught up on what everyone thinks about you. Okay. If I care what people thought about me, I'd probably look a lot different. I just wear what I want and I do what I want because I want to get rich and I just want to live the life I want. Number 5, you are doing everything in your power to become a better wholesaler. Now, this isn't an uncomfortable truth, but it sometimes is an uncomfortable truth. You have to believe in yourself that you are actually, by watching this video, putting into practice what I'm saying, actually cold calling, actually doing what I'm doing every single day. At the end of the day, whatever you did, put it on. Put the hat on the coat, your cold calling hat, and say, hey, I actually did something that made a difference. It might seem small, it might seem insignificant, but it led me to becoming better and to the eventual goal I want to make for my life and my family and for everything. And if you can truly believe that and overcome the uncomfortable truths, you'll do well. That's it, guys. Simply stick to the script and you will get a deal by cold calling. The eliminate of the fear will be over. The last thing you have to understand is a simple question. Was Kobe ever afraid of making a game-winning NBA shot? I want all my basketball friends to think about this. Think about it. Was Kobe ever scared to make a basketball shot? Was he scared to put the ball in the hoop? Was he scared that I was going to miss? Of course. He did not want to go miss a shot and lose a game, okay? He wasn't scared to do it because he knows if he throws that shot up, he's done everything in his power to this point to get the best chance of putting the shot in. That is it. And more times out of 10, he always put the shot in. Now, there's some times it didn't go in, but do you think that crippled his fear of ever playing basketball ever again? No. He got better, he trained, and he just did better. Kobe was never afraid, and Kobe lived a life of no fear when it comes to his passion of basketball, and you shouldn't live that same thing too. So if Kobe's not afraid to do gaming shots because he was willing to put in the action, the work, the dedication, you should be doing it too. One thing on top of that, if you were to say, oh, I'm going to be like Kobe, you really want to be like Kobe. I want everyone to I want to be like Kobe. I get that all the time. Kobe Bryant's on record 6 days a week. He would spend 6 to 7 hours every single day practicing basketball. Dribbling, shots, fadeaways, layups, dunks. 7 hours a day, 6 days a week. Think about that. He was willing to do that to become Kobe Bryant. I don't know many basketball players that actually do that. I tell you, you could have the most God-gifted athleticism in the world. Kobe Bryant's going to beat you. Because he has the athleticism and he worked hard. Same thing in wholesaling. Why am I so good at cold calling? Why do I have no fear of cold calling? I kind of did a Kobe Bryant method. I cold called 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight. That was just cold calling. Not on top of me going out here, cold calling cash buyers, going out here and closing deals, locking up contracts, doing more marketing. I did 8-9 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight too. It just, duh. So I'm not afraid of cold call because I did the same hours as Kobe. So why do you think I'm not afraid? Or I can say I did the Kobe Bryant method for wholesaling when it comes to cold calling because I actually lived it, breathed it. And here's the cool part. You can't fake it. I can't fake me being good at cold calling. Because I go out here, I click the live stream button and actually cold call motivated sellers and I close deals. You can't fake LeBron James' skills. Anyone can say I'm next LeBron James. Well, get on the court and prove it. You probably can't. Same thing with me. I can go out here and cold call and you can show it. I could tell you I'm the next D Wade for basketball. And sometimes I feel like that for a second. And then I go pick up basketball, get my butt whooped. And then I realize I did not put the same amount of work as D Wade. I'm never going to lead the Heat to a championship like Jimmy Butler. Well, Jimmy Butler doesn't give us a championship yet, but it's incoming. I can do the same thing with cold calling though, because I actually put in the time and effort into that. And guess what? If I sprain my ACL, I'm not out in wholesaling, right? I'm out for a year. No, it's the brain, right? As long as the brain's living, the brain's okay. I can use the skills when I'm 90 years old to get to wholesaling deals. I don't have to retire at 30. That's the cool difference between athletes and entrepreneurs. I don't have to quit. My body won't give out because it's not my body that's making money. It's my brain. And once you start learning that, you'll become a successful wholesaler. So if you're ready to go out here, become a successful wholesaler, start cold calling like a champion, go to my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. It's my free wholesaling course. I'll tell you guys everything you know about wholesaling success. It's in freewholesaling.com, and that is it.